ripping it out between those two trees, if nothing else, is just a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So I've got this topsoil I'm basically dumping the corner of my yard, but it's kind of in the way. I want to get it back into the woods more. So right now I am planning on using the big loader to scoop that up and put it further back in the woods, but it is wetlands. So right now I am just going back into the area where I want to dump it, where I run the tractor before and the excavator without any trouble. But as you will see, in fact right now, I'm getting stuck because the thing is sinking right into the wetland area. Really soggy soil back there. I should have thought about that, but I've never been stuck there before, but I've never had a 32,000 pound machine back there either. So I just gave myself a challenging problem.
I just got this machine stuck back here, just sunk it in the muck. Yeah, ground is soft. I've got a problem. I don't have any easy, this is all uphill. I have no idea what I'm gonna do at the moment. I need a bulldozer right now to pull this out. Don't have one, I'll have to figure it out. Well, testing out my area where I was gonna dump all the dirt, and I should have known. Vehicle this heavy, sank right in. Look at that. I am stuck. Dump some gravel in here, try and put some beams up there to lift up the front end maybe, get some gravel under the front wheels. Not much I can do with the back. The water is right up to the surface here. I mean, this is soft. So we'll see. I'm gonna put some timbers here and see if that bucket with hydraulic can pick up this front end. So I could get gravel underneath there. If I can do that, I might have a fighting chance. Maybe. We'll see. So basically, to get this thing unstuck, I gotta have the machine help itself a lot. And I'm figuring the best way to do that is to get that front end raised off by taking this bucket boom system, gravel I put down there in the big railroad ties, shove it down, lift the whole front end up, dig the front wheels out a little bit with the excavator and put gravel down in there, fill it up with gravel, basically, then let it back down, and that'll have some good traction for that part of it. I'll dig all along here as far as I can to the rear wheels. I put gravel. If I can do that, then the machine will help itself a lot. The winch and snap block that I'm planning on using just might be able to pull it hard enough with this thing doing probably most of the work, to get unstuck. So that's the grand plan. So I'm going to try and lower this down now. I got it, the top beam kind of going crossways across here. Is that redundant? So that it's kind of utilizing the strength of all three underneath it. So. Well, that was encouraging. I saw it start to lift it. I need to reposition this for more stability. I'm going to get another timber, give that top row more stability, and then I should be good. Okay, so the issue I was having was stability. And so the physics here is I've got these at an angle. I got 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. The tip of the blade straddles both of them at an angle, which will utilize the stability of both at the same time. And they're fully on the 3 underneath. Yeah. So that will give a much more stable situation. Okay. Well, I got a bucket problem with what's going on here. I definitely got a bucket problem. Okay, so the basic idea was good. But that bucket, it doesn't maintain the stability or pressure in its in the hydraulics, and it just wants to flop forward. So I got to chain off this bucket. I got to chain that off like to here, so there's no possible way for the bucket to move forward. That's what I got to do. Figure out the best way to do that. A good place to hook on, wrap around here, and then come right up and wrap around a big structure up there, and it won't be able to go forward anymore. Okay, I got my bucket solution taken care of. So now I just need to get my timbers back in place again. This thing should be stable unless it busts this chain. I don't think it will. If it does, I'll get bigger chain. And we'll hoist it back up and go from there. Well, there's always some issue. And the issue I have now is the geometry of this thing, with this secondary arm here, is that as the boom goes down, as the whole thing lowers, that bucket swings outward and tightens the chains up, and the chains will just snap. So I might be able to guesstimate just how loose I need to make the chains when it's at full extension. I don't know. That's a possibility. Also, there's no stationary point with respect to the front of the bucket there. There's no stationary point on here that doesn't make that same thing happen. I can't keep the length of the chain the same because the angle of the bucket is moving as the thing goes up or down. So I've got another idea in mind that I'm going to explore and try. So that's coming next. I'm trying to fish this into there, which it is. Then I want to shove this thing down against that beam. That's the plan. Well, that's what I wanted to do. Get a big beam, brace right up in that bucket. I'm gonna push down on that Doesn't matter about the different angles of the bucket now. I wonder if that's just going to drive that into the ground. I don't know what's going to happen. So we're going to find out now. Well, whatever happens here, I think it's going to be interesting. About the only angle I could make. I guess I'd like a more vertical angle, but when I shove down on that, it's going to try and lift that front. I have a feeling this is going to sink in further than just a few inches, maybe a couple feet. I don't know. Okay, so that wasn't all that surprising. It's just shoving it into the ground without anything happening. Okay, what is this? Trial 3, 4? I'm losing track right now. Keep adding more paraphernalia. Try and keep that beam in place without falling out. Well, it's more secure now than it was. Looks like a ridiculous contraption, but maybe it'll actually work. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it had potential until that happened. Kind of get an idea how soft this ground is. I just dug this out and the water's ready, filled it up to that level. It's just a soupy, soft mess. No place for a machine of this weight. I'm gonna fill this in with some gravel, some porous gravel, some chips, and then I'll do the top layer in asphalt millings. All right, when I fill this in with gravel, I'll clean it up right there a little bit. Put gravel in here. If this thing ends up moving a little bit, it will greatly facilitate getting it out of here. Just ramp it up here. Makes it look a lot more conceivable that this thing will get out of here. Well, it will, because I'm not going to stop till I get this out. With the rough country winch that's coming tomorrow, supposedly 12,000 pound, which they're all advertised as. Already got a snatch block, so even if it could do 10,000, double that up with a snatch block, 20,000 pounds. If I get 20,000 pounds pulling on that hitch there, that'd do a lot. Well, seeing the water level there sure is easy to understand why the ground is so soft. Basically, I think if this starts to move, if it gets out of its initial hole, especially under tension, it'll just climb right out of there. So I don't think I need to do anything else here. It all comes down again to this front. Got to get that front off and get material underneath those tires. Well, I'm obviously just making it up as I go here. The problem with the bucket is it's tilted forward, and when you go down, it tilts forward more. So it's collapsing, twisting like that. And so having some beams going at an upward angle could be an advantage. At the moment, these two sitting here provide a point of contact for the bucket. So that part's good. I'm gonna kind of ease into that and see what it does. What have I got to lose? Well, I just ran over my power pack with the excavator. There's the tracks. Yeah, went right across, about 2/3 of the way up. 8,000 pound machine. I don't know what the PSI was on that. If it's still working, I'll be pretty amazed. It's warped a little bit. I can see it bent. Well, we'll plug it in. Oh, I see it's cracked too. The display is cracked. If I plug it into here, and it starts charging. It is charging, so it's still working. You can't see the display, but I saw it, the phone is taking a charge, so, well, that's pretty impressive. Glad I don't have to get another one of those. Well, you know, I subscribe to Occam's razor. The simplest solution is usually the right explanation. And I have to say, that's true for the beams I put in there at an angle. So that's good. I was able to progressively jack it up. So let's give this a shot. Well, obviously that's pretty satisfying. Yeah, well, that solution with the timbers was just right. Look at it. That front end had a lot of traction there. Those asphalt millings. It didn't sink in anymore. Just when the front end went in here, that was a little dip, but by that time the rear had some traction. It got out, no winch needed. Shows you how sunk in it was in that muck. And it was just muck all the way down. So that was fun. See you next time.